Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're live again. Of course, yesterday we were live for the Max Monday event on Pokemon Go, as we always are, and today we are live once more for Spotlight Hour. Spotlight Hour, 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. on Tuesday evenings. And today it features not one but two Pokemon, and that's probably coincides with the Cozy Companions event. Of course, Cozy Companions event, we've had the Carablast and Shelmet pairing spawning quite often in the wild, as you can see currently. But the YT's landed in the chat. Hey YT, how are you? But yeah, today we are going to get these little guys, Plusle and Minun. So we're going to see if we can get any of these shinies today during the live stream, and we'll take a time walking around because we may get a little bit too warm because it is very, very humid here in the UK. So we'll take a time walking around and see if we can get any of these shiny. Now it is also 2 times catch XP, so we are going to try and put a luck egg on and see how much excellent throws we can throw at these as well. So let's go ahead and put that luck egg on, and we'll start that daily incense in just a moment as well once we get into the hang of things. But yeah, I'm good, thanks YT. How are you? Hopefully you've had a good day today. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on how many excellent throws we do, and we also might have a couple more friendship level ups as well, so we'll check that in a moment. You know Tony the Pokemon streamer? Don't think I do, I'm not too sure. Whereabouts is Tony from? Well, he said 1.2 million XP a day is amazing. Oh, awesome. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's a difficult thing to do. Yeah, it is a difficult thing to do, 1.2 million XP each day. Luckily, I've had certain events where I've managed to get quite a bit more than that. Yeah, it is difficult, on average. Of course, some days you can get loads, like on a raid day. On the Origin raid day, I managed to get 6 million on that day. On the Go Tour earlier this year, I managed to get 10 million on Saturday and 9 million on the Sunday of that event. But then, when there's no events on, or when there's no events that reward XP, additional XP, it is very, very difficult to try and get anywhere near 1 million XP unless you spend quite a lot of time catching, which, when I'm at work full time, it is very, very difficult to do. But yeah, it was obviously something we set out at the start of the year to try and do, and to try and get to 1 billion XP, and we are getting very, very close now. And once we get there, I'll actually be able to work out an exact average of what we've managed to do each day. We are hitting excellent throws on these quite well, to be fair. He's at 900 million XP also. Race to 1 billion. I challenge him to a race. Hey Finwood, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. Yeah, next time you speak to him, you'll have to say if he wants to race. Good, that's good to hear, Finn. So like I say, we'll start this daily adventure incense in just a moment and get that going at the same time. We did see 2 glowing birds off that yesterday. We had a Zapdos and we also had a Articuno, both of them of which sadly ran away. But the Zapdos was over 3000 CP, so that was going to be very, very difficult to stay in. But the Articuno, annoyingly, was only 770 CP, so that had a far better chance of staying in the ball, but sadly didn't. Well, I'm happy with the amount of excellent throws we're hitting. I thought this was going to be a little bit annoying to hit excellent throws on these guys, but we're hitting a decent amount of excellent throws on these. And one other thing I need to remember to do, which I haven't already, is of course both of these are electric types. If you look at them, both of them are just standard electric types. So what we also need to do is we need to mega evolve an electric type to get a little bit more XL candy from these, but also that XP. You get 100 XP more for every catch you do when you have a mega that's the same typing. So let's go for Mega Mayonetric. That looks a pretty cool mega when it's mega evolved, especially the shiny one. It's a very, very cool shiny. There we go. And then let's get back to doing these excellent throws if we can. It's really annoying Plusle. The shiny of Plusle, it's so difficult to see that it's shiny, especially if it's like a sunny day today, because you can very, very rarely tell the difference. It's a little bit darker, it goes a little bit darker red on its ears and hands, and it's very difficult to tell. I keep thinking it is shiny when it first pops on the screen there. But the Minun, for example, is a lot easier to notice. It goes from blue to green, so it is a very, very nice shiny. So definitely Minun is my preferred choice out of these two, just because of a shiny. But let me know which you prefer in the comments down below. Hey Dom, how are you? I can indeed send you a gift. Just a second, I will send you one. He didn't respond when I asked. Fair play. He has like 150 viewers, so that's fine. Yeah, fair enough. He's busy trying to get through all the viewers and stuff. That's absolutely fine. Come on, where's it? There it is. I was just about to say, where's that excellent throw? Yeah, seems to be that way. Right, I'll catch these last remaining few. Now we've gone past that bit of a spawn spot there. This one here as well, and then I'll send Dom a gift. I promise I'll do it in a second. So Dom, a gift is coming in. Where is Dominic on here? No. Have I still got you? What's happened here? I don't know why, but you don't seem to be appearing on my friends list. Just write down your username again below. Yeah, Dominic Cal's it. You only have 28 friends. It's just because I typed in Dom. I filtered them down through typing in Dom. But yeah, for some reason I haven't got Dom as a friend. That's weird. That is weird. Yeah, I've got 440, I think. It says you're my screen. Right, okay. How weird. Is it definitely like, or is it No? Hey? What is happening here? Is it definitely a D at the start, or is it numbers? I can't seem to find you, Dom. I don't know what's happened there. Uppercase D. I don't know if that makes any difference, does it? Let me try it. Capital D, yeah. Okay. Let me try that. No? I can't see you there. That is weird. That is really weird. No, I don't have a nickname for him. It's super weird that it's not coming up, because online and go to down. Right, okay. Online. So D's not there, Dom's not there. Why are you not appearing on my friends list? That is so weird. You see that, right? For some reason you're not there. How strange. What is happening here? Can you send me your trainer code again, and I'll see if for some reason I can add you again. I don't know what's happened to you. I definitely had you, because I remember your username, but you haven't changed your name at all, have you? Oh, hang on. I've just gone off Pokémon now while trying to press view message. That is really, really weird. Annoyingly, I can't see that comment now because YouTube has blocked it with it having numbers on it. It's ever so weird, YouTube. I don't know why it does that. We'll sort it out anyway, and I will send you a gift when we've sorted it out. Yeah, for some reason I can't press a view message because I'm just working on one phone. Annoyingly. I'll tell you what, Dom. Go on your friends list and add me as a friend using my trainer code, and it should pop up for me. Or it might say on yours that you've already got me added. Just see if you can add me. If it goes through, then for some reason I'm there, but I'm not there. I don't know quite what's happened. But yeah, add me 760780708259. That is so strange. I've never. There you go. So apparently I'd not got you as a friend, but I had got you as a friend. Yeah. How strange. That is super strange, Alice. Right, cheers for that, Dom. I've sent you a gift back. That is so strange. I don't think I've ever had that before. That was terrible. And today's the last time to get a snom as well, so, or a snom from a 7 kilometre eggs, which is going to be a bit easier to get it than the 5 kilometre eggs, because of course 7 kilometre eggs are pretty much guaranteed from gifts. You just have to open enough of them to eventually get one of them. So if we open a gift here, we should hopefully get a 7 kilometre egg. There we go. So 7 kilometre eggs have snom in them, and there's a little snom there actually. There's somebody who's got theirs there, buddy. So that's a new Pokemon that was released during the Cozy Companions event. That finishes today at 8 PM, that Cozy Companions event. And we are hoping to try and get a couple of those 7 kilometre eggs in before that event finishes. After the event, snom will still be available in eggs, but it will move to 5 kilometre eggs, and it will be a free egg rarity. So we rank the rarity of what you can hatch from the eggs: 1, 3 and 5. 3 being the middle rarity, and that's where snom will be. And of course, 5 kilometre eggs, you'll obtain those from Pokestops, and you could get a 2 kilometre egg or a 10 kilometre egg. So it's going to be a lot harder to get snom after the event than it is currently, which pretty much happens with every event where we release a Pokemon as an egg exclusive. We move it out of a more regularly available egg into something a little bit harder, but still you've got the chance to get it. So definitely try and stack up on those 7 kilometre eggs before tonight at 8 PM local time, else you will have to try and get 5 kilometre eggs in and hope for a snom that way. It's quite a good spawn spot around here. We're just going to catch these. I saw somebody comment down below as well saying they play Pokemon Go. Thanks so much for commenting and getting involved in the comments. By all means, you can add me if you want. We are just going to try and catch these around here. Can you add me? I can't add you through your username like that, but if you go onto your Pokemon and go onto friends list and then add friend, so like this, if you go onto your friends list at the top there and click add friend, down at the bottom here you can type in my number on the screen there, so 7607 8070 8259. If you add that in down at this bottom code here, it will add me as a friend. So take a screenshot of that, or whichever you want to do. Write it down as quickly as you can, or take a screenshot, or even pause the video and then jump back to live in a moment, and you can add me. I'll accept you, and we can hopefully build up Pokemon Go friendship and send some gifts to each other, which would be cool. So this is our new spotlight hour walking route, because the spawns this way do actually seem to stay quite consistent throughout the whole hour. So we do seem to get quite decent spawns. So chat works again. Yeah, chat was working. I was just trying to sort out friendship mystery out with Dom. I don't know what happened there, but we've sorted it now. There you go. PB Huff has sent me a friend request. Thanks so much for that. I'll get you added now. Yep, cheers James, I've added you. Thanks so much for that. Ah, right, okay. So while we've got this luck egg on, of course we are trying to hit as many excellent throws on these Minun and Plusle as we can. But we've also got quite a few rewards to claim from Lucy Logan's in the chat. Hey Lucy Logan, how are you? It's been a while since you've been in the chat. How are you? Hopefully you're okay. So yeah, we are going to start claiming the rewards from the pass as well, from the Go Pass. We haven't claimed any of the rewards from the paid for, so sorry if I missed some. No, that's fine. That's fine. I have Deancey and Zygarde. Awesome. Well done, James. So yeah, we are going to start claiming these now. We just put a star piece on, and of course we have got a little lucky egg on already. So loads and loads of rewards, and maybe even some encounters as well from this. So we've got, on the paid version, we've got Clamperl, which unfortunately is not shiny. Has a very, very cool shiny. We then also have Chimecho, which is a really good one for Stardust. Has an increased Stardust drop when you catch Chimecho. We'll get back to that in just a second. Let's catch up with these Plusle and Minun. Tiny Plusle. That is so cute. That is super cute, that is. Cutie Fly. That is a very, very cute tiny. Would have made a really, really cool tiny shiny, that would have. So again, hitting as many excellent throws as we can, and we'll get back to that Go Pass rewards in just a moment. We've got 10 minutes left on the lucky egg. We may put another one on yet to see us out the whole hour, because these excellent throws are actually doing pretty good at the moment. Vaporeon, awesome. So we have Aerodactyl off of research, no shiny. Of course, boosted shiny with Aerodactyl. Being that it has a mega, the shiny for Aerodactyl is not 1 in 512, a full odds, but instead 1 in 128 for Aerodactyl shiny. Great for on that. What else do we have? Sableye. Dynamax Sableye. 622. I don't know if that's any good or not. Soon find out. See if we've quick caught that. Check after this Minun. Yeah, we did quick catch it. 622 is pretty decent. 93, 13, 15, 14 on the stats. That's actually one of my best Dynamax Sableyes, I'd say. Would be super cool if it was a shiny one. Shiny Sableye is probably one of my favourite shinies in the game. It's so, so cool when it goes to that lovely gold colour and holds its green gem instead of red gem. How you have so much Stardust? Just literally catching everything I see. Trying to catch as many Pokemon as I can. And I've already powered a lot of things up already, so a lot of my teams don't need... We're already set up for most of the legendaries that appear, so I don't really have to power many things up unless it's a brand new Pokemon, like Zacian or Zamazenta. Of course, when they got released, I did have to power a couple of those up. But there's only the odd Pokemon that gets released every now and again, which is actually meta relevant, which you feel the need to power up. But other than that, I've got pretty good teams for most things now. So after years of spending loads of Stardust powering stuff up, I no longer need to. So I can just start saving. At the start of this year, I had actually around about 1 million Stardust, not much at all. And we're already on 35 mil now. So it's been a decent year for Stardust. But of course, it's the XP that we're aiming for at the end of this year by now. We are doing really, really good with the XP. Trying to double the total amount of XP that we had in 8 years of playing Pokemon Go. We're trying to double that in just 1 year. I have a shiny Sableye, but I traded it for a 1330 CP Mr. Mime. Shiny Mr. Mime or normal Mr. Mime? By the way, here's a secret and don't tell. Plusle again. Excellent throw. Couple more excellent throws on these Plusles. And then we can start claiming more XP. Yeah, I don't think that's probably the best thing to go around and saying that you've got a modded version of Pokemon Go. It's yeah, it's probably the best thing not to go spouting about. I mean, everybody plays the game differently. That's what's amazing about the game is a lot of people hunt for XP. A lot of people want to collect all the Pokedex. A lot of people want to completely fill the Pokedex. A lot of people want to get lucky Pokemons and everything. Everybody can play the game in a completely different way, which I don't mind. But one thing I do mind is that, you know, the spoofers or whatever that end up cheating and kicking out gyms and stuff like that from real players, that's when it gets a bit annoying. You know, if you want to take a risk of spoofing, that's up to you. That's completely fair. It's up to you. It's completely up to what you want to do. But don't go kicking gyms. You know, I've had it a lot around since I've been YouTubing. I've had quite a few spoofers around where I live. Obviously, when I click on the Pokestops, they've managed to find out where they are, and they've came around and started kicking the gyms. And then it's just like, why are you doing it? You know, I don't see any point in it. I don't mind. You know, it doesn't wind me up in any way. So I don't see any point in that when it starts getting a bit nasty, if you know what I mean. When people start kicking gyms and stuff for no reason, just don't see any point in it. But no, by all means, play the game how you want to play it. I'm not anybody special to tell you how to play the game. I play it in my own way. But yeah, play the game how you want to play it. But just consider those that actually play it when, you know, put the effort in and go out and about and play it. So just consider those and don't kick them out of gyms. That's all I'd say. Right, so let's have a quick look and see what we've got. We actually got 3 challenges which will all reward us with Tandem House quests. I like how you're wearing a hat while you're playing Pokemon Go. Yeah, definitely. It's quite sunny here, so I'm trying to, when I'm playing Pokemon Go and I haven't got a hat on and it's sunny, I end up squinting, trying to look at the screen. And then later on at night, I just get a massive headache because I've been squinting all day. It's not good. So yeah, just the hat just helps me a little bit, stop from squinting. Right, so before we go too far, because I don't know if I'm going to do another lucky egg or not, but let's go through these friendship levels and level up with anybody that we need to level up with. So friendship level 3, this is anybody who we're going to go best friends with. So these ones we should get quite a bit of XP for. So best friends with that one. And are we going to go best friends with this one? No, we're not. And let's go down to the next one. Friendship level 2. So this is anybody that we're going to go from level 2 hearts to level 3. So we've got a couple here. And this is actually one of Kiki's friends. Kiki's a regular on the channel, so very, very cool. But I've managed to add a few of her friends as well. We've also got Jack Hood. We can add that one. There we go. And let's go down here. We've got many more. No. So that's friend level 2. And we'll go friend level 1 now. Couple on here. Got a shiny Corsola there. That's pretty cool. Gym leader. So let's just claim those ones for now and see what we get. We've got a modern Scatterbug. No shiny. Did get another shiny Scatterbug at the weekend. Hey Kiki, how are you? Yeah, unfortunately you can't trade, unfortunately, because you have to be close enough to trade with somebody. So you have to be within 100 meters of somebody to trade, or 50 meters with somebody to trade. So yeah, annoyingly. But we have found in the code that will actually be able to do remote trading at some stage. So that is going to be very, very interesting as how we implement that. I would fully expect that you will only be able to do so many throughout maybe a certain event that's during the year, or maybe just so many throughout the year that you can do, or maybe it classes as like a special trade that you can only do one a day. I don't know, but we have definitely found it in the code. We're just going to have to wait and see how they do it. Maybe it's something you can only do if you're lucky friends with somebody, because there has been a new friendship level found in the code where you can actually go to Best Friends Plus or something like that, it's called. So I would assume that would be lucky friends, but perhaps they're adding an extra stage of friendship maybe. I don't know how it's going to work, but there's so many questions and there's so many things which people have found in the code. Obviously there's all this talk about level 60 because of that trailer we released with the Eternamax Eternatus the other day. So loads of people are asking about level 60, and there's just so many questions but not many answers, and I can only hope over the next week or so we start getting a few more answers to these questions, because if the Eternamax Eternatus is going to be coming out on a Go Pass, so similar to when we get that Go Fest Go Pass, we get a Go Fest weekend, and on the week leading up to that we get that additional Go Pass for it. I would assume we're going to get the same with a Max Finale. So next Monday the 18th of August, we should get a Go Pass for the Max Finale event. So the Max Finale Go Pass should be given to us on the 18th of August, and that's when we'll know exactly, or if just before it maybe, that's when we'll know exactly what all this 60 was about. Maybe it was level 60 that you're going to encounter, or stage 60 that you was going to encounter the Eternatus at during that Go Pass. Maybe that 60 meant my trainer level, maybe that 60 meant other things, I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Why are there so many plus? Hey Trainer Joy, sorry I wasn't ignoring you, but hey, yeah, thanks so much for joining. Why is there so many Plusle in mining? So it's a spotlight hour. We have a spotlight hour every Tuesday at 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. local time, so whatever time zone you're in. I'm here in the UK, so it's British summertime here, and it is 6:32, and from 6 p.m. till 7 p.m. every Tuesday a featured Pokemon gets released into the wild more often, and this time it is Plusle and Minun. Now, unlike community days, of course community days last for 3 hours and the shiny rate gets increased massively, so it's actually 1 in 25 shiny odds on community days. But unlike them, on spotlight hours we don't get the shiny boost, and of course it only lasts for an hour. So Plusle and Minun have full odd shinies, 1 in 512 to get the shiny during this hour event. But we also have additional bonus as well. So we also have 2 times catch XP today, and that bonus changes throughout the weeks as well. So next week we might get 2 times catch Stardust or 2 times evolution XP. So each week we get a different Pokemon and a different bonus. So today is Plusle and Minun from 6 till 7, and we get 2 times catch XP. So that is why I'm trying to do as many excellent throws as possible. It's proving difficult on some of these, but we're getting the hang of it. Not too bad in terms of excellent throws. Don't think I'll put another lucky egg on for now though. I think we'll stay with what we've got. So how has Kiki been over the last few days? I don't know if you joined us yesterday, Kiki, did you? During the Max Monday? Or maybe you did actually, towards the end. But how has your day been? What do the shinies look like? So Plusle only changes very slightly. Plusle goes, that red on Plusle that you can see, it actually goes to a slightly darker red. That's the only change at Plusle. It's very, very difficult to tell. And Minun, the blue on Minun on the ears and hands go to a green colour. So Minun's definitely the easiest one to check. But the Plusle is quite a bit difficult. Sometimes I click on it and think it's shiny, and then it doesn't sparkle, so obviously it isn't. But yeah, let me check. Let me show you what the shinies look like of each of them. So Plusle shiny, we've got a few of these. So that's what the Plusle shiny looks like. Like I say, very, very difficult to tell. You can tell it's a little bit darker on the red there. So the red on its tail, its hands and its ears is a little bit darker. But then we've got the Minun shiny. So Minun is obviously blue normally. And these ones, when we get the shinies up, there we go. These ones are green. So very, very nice shiny, in fact. And we actually managed to get a really, really decent one of these in 98 shiny from a lucky trade. Very, very nice with that. But of course, Minun and Plusle have had their shinies released for a fair few years now, probably back in 2018 sometime would be when we got their shiny release. So they have been around for a long, long time. They just seem to get left out of quite a few events now. So you don't tend to see them in the wild very often, unless it's events where there's like partnerships. For example, like this event where we've had Shelmet and Carablast, we've also got the Minun and Plusle. So wherever there's like a duo Pokemon partnership event, we sometimes get the Plusle and Minun then, as well as some other partnerships. So none of these tasks we can actually do at the moment. We're going to have to wait until we can trade with somebody to free up a task space. We will just check as well and see how much XP we are on. 913.471. So not far off. Only another 86 million to go. Hopefully that max finale event will drop a load of gifts. It will drop a load of XP. I got Shundo Palkia because of you. I'm so happy. Kiki always gets Shundos from my raid invites. So on the stream, for those who don't know, on the stream a couple of weeks ago, we did a Mega Aerodactyl raid because Kiki wanted to do a Mega Aerodactyl. So I did a nearby Mega Aerodactyl. I invited Kiki. She got a Shundo, a shiny Hundo Aerodactyl. And then at the weekend, I was doing Dialga, Origin Dialga and Palkia raid day on Sunday with my community because I'm a Pokemon Go ambassador, so I have to host the event for my community. So I was hosting that event, realised there was a few spaces in the lobby and thought, I'll start sending invites out to anybody who's online. So Kiki was online, I sent invites out. Next minute, Kiki's messaging on the YouTube saying, I got a Shundo Palkia from your raid, thank you. From now on, Kiki is banned from raids. Lesson learned, don't send Kiki a raid invite ever again. Of course, I'm joking. It was stupidly rare that you managed to get 2 Shundos from the same person through invites. That was crazy. But yeah, huge congrats, by the way. I'm just that lucky, clearly. 15 candies off you, Aerodactyl to Mega Evolve. That is super cool. I do like Mega Aerodactyl. So yeah, if anybody else wants a Shundo, perhaps trying to join some of my raids will get you one. That's definitely the case through Kiki's experience anyway. In terms of raids, we've got no raids nearby, which is rather annoying. It's very annoying, in fact. But we have got a few Dynamax, so we might be able to do a couple of Dynamax in a minute. 1 shundo, 4 hundos and 16 shinies. That is crazy. That is so crazy. I think at this rate they'll be kicking you out of India. So 40 minutes in, no shiny, Plusle or Minun at the moment. But let's just have a quick look and see if we manage to get any hundos. 4-star? No. Our last 4-star was a hundo Palkia from the Origin Raid Day weekend. But sadly, not the one with Spatial Rend. Hasn't got the special move. She forgot about the Aerodactyl, so that makes it 2 hundos. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't forget about that. It haunts my dreams. Right, there is a Sierra here, which I think I need to do a Sierra as we're working towards that Giovanni and that encounter with Giratina. We may actually be able to do that on the stream if people want to see that. If we can find enough rockets. So let's just Sierra. Yeah, we need to do a Sierra one. So we'll catch these and then we'll do a Sierra. You already got yours. Was it any good? I never normally get anything good from those shadow legendaries from Giovanni. You always tend to be unlucky with those. So Sierra, what has Sierra got this time around? I don't think I've ever faced a Sierra. 98, oh my god, Kiki. That is just crazy. I don't know what Sierra's got. I'm just going to go into recommended team and see what happens. Totodile. Right, okay, perhaps not the best team to go in with against Totodile. Although I do love this Pokemon. Poipol's evolution. Managed to get a hundo, which was super lucky. So this is a hundo that I'm using. This is one of the best poison types in the game, to be fair. I'm not even going to try and pronounce its name because I don't know how to. Nagandel? I don't know. So shielded, of course, and then we will chuck another one, and this will again be shielded. So that gets rid of Sierra's 2 shields. But we are into her second Pokemon now. Let's go for Kyogre. I don't know if that's the best switch. Perhaps not. Let's go for Darkrai. So a good tactic for these as well is, of course, just switching as many times as you can, because switching actually stops them from doing any moves for a bit, for a few seconds. So it does just pause the Rocket's Pokemon just for a couple of seconds, which means you might be able to start building up your charge move without taking any damage. And that sometimes makes all the difference. And then we've gone for Drapion in the back. Shadow Ball that. And then this will probably destroy our Darkrai when it gets using its moves. And it does indeed. But we can get another Shadow Ball off and then maybe look for a switch. Can we switch into Kyogre again? We can. So let's switch there. Again, you see how it doesn't move just for those few seconds there. And that might be the difference between winning or losing. But then again, what has Drapion got as a move? Fell Stinger, that's going to hurt. Not as much as I thought, actually. So we'll just work that down with the quick move. So Sierra, pretty much an easy win. But I would definitely recommend going in with a grass type first. Shiny! Let's go! Look at that! That is a shiny Totodile. That is a super cool looking shiny. I've just turned the camera off, but just so I can take that screenshot, that is a super cool looking shiny. Look at that. Shiny Shadow Totodile on our first ever one. That was crazy. On our first ever Sierra battle, we get a shiny Shadow Totodile. That is a super cool shiny Shadow. And it's not a bad one. 2-star, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. That is not a bad one to get at all. So, we have Cliff left to find. Is this in the Netherlands right now, Amber Groot? No, it's not. It's in the UK. So I'm in the UK. I think Netherlands are an hour ahead of us. So they would have had their event last hour. Yeah, I'm sure Netherlands are an hour ahead. So yeah, this is the UK. Very, very lucky to get that shiny Shadow Totodile. Of course, it is 1 in 64 off the leaders, but from our first ever Sierra battle, that is pretty insane. Right, let's get back to these excellent throws, and we will find some more rockets. Don't know if we've got any more components in or not already. We have 4 components, so we only need to find 2 more rockets. There's actually one there. And once we find that rocket, we could just do with finding 1 more, and then we can get our Giovanni battle done live on the stream just after the Spotlight Hour, which would be a super cool way of finishing the Spotlight Hour live stream. So that is going to be what we're aiming for now. Never intended that to happen, but still, it's getting closer, so we might as well try. And where is the nearest rocket? We've got one here, and then we've got one up this direction. So let's first get these Plusles and Minuns around here, just to see if any of these are any shinies. Coiled and Rage to Strike. So let's use fire and go for CP highest to lowest. We'll put Reshiram in there, and we'll also put, let's go Darmanitan, and then we'll use a Steel as well. Steel seems to be good against most things. 2 doggos, hi, nice Pokemon. When I get back to the UK, sorry, I missed your first comment there, Kiki. But yeah, how are you, 2 doggos? Hopefully you're doing okay. Yeah, just defeat Trubbish before he gets to move. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Kiki says, I'm also going to get a Dynamax Latios when I get back to the UK. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. Getting everything done for the G-Max days. Yeah, pretty much. Trying to get everything prepared for that Max Finale week. It's going to be a crazy weekend, that is. Yeah, getting everything ready for that Max Finale week. I just hope that I don't get a terrible Eternatus, because obviously Eternatus is going to be on max battles, but you won't be able to get it. You won't be able to encounter it from those or catch it. You'll only get Candy and Candy XL. The only Eternatus you'll get is from that Go Pass rewards. That is the only Eternatus that you'll encounter. So if it's terrible, if it's a 10, 10, 10, or you know, a 2-star, you can't really do much with it unless you want to potentially use a gold bottle cap on it in future. If we get another one of those, that may be a good use for it. But yeah, I don't know how often we're going to get gold bottle caps for one, but I do hope that it's not a terrible one. And obviously there's a lot of reports as well that Eternatus is going to take a crazy amount of XL candy to actually power up. So that is going to be ridiculous to try and do that. Should I try to do Eternatus Max, even if I can't get him? I should have just go all out for a G Max. So I would say, of course, it all depends on what group you're going to be doing it with, because Eternatus Max is going to be super hard to take down. You're going to need probably 15 trainers to try and take it down. You may be able to do it with less if you've got decent counters, but I would expect it's probably going to be one of the hardest challenges in terms of G Maxes that we've ever had. So it all depends on what the group wants to do that you're with. If you do want to just go after Eternatus, then definitely do them, because you're going to be getting as many candies as you can, hopefully to power up a decent Eternatus that you get from the rewards. But if you are heading towards the G Maxes, then perhaps just prioritize the ones that you haven't yet got. So if you've missed out on some G Maxes from a previous weekend, just prioritize the ones that you haven't got. So if you've missed out on Gengar, for example, just do the hour where Gengar is happening, or Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, of course. So many that have been released. And of course, I don't expect everybody to have every single one, and especially not everyone shiny. So this is a good chance to try and fill in those gaps that you are missing. So any G Maxes that you are missing, try and fill in the gaps and hopefully get some decent ones, as well as those shinies as well. Yeah, so it all depends on the counters and obviously what you're going against. G Max Butterfree, we managed to do that quite easily with a group of 6 people, but we had decent counters. We had the likes of the Cinderace as our main attacker, and of course Omastar, Dynamax Omastar is actually the best attacker now against Butterfree. But it all depends on what you're going against, how bulky that is, and then also what counters you've got to go against it. So of course 6 players, 6 trainers against a Blastoise would be very, very difficult to do. Whereas if you can hopefully join some others through remotes or anything, you might find a bigger group and a lot easier to take down. But the good thing with Dynamaxes and Gigantamaxes is that when you enter the battle, you chuck your 800 particles in, but if you are unsuccessful, you get those back. You don't lose those. You haven't got a certain amount of time to do it, and you don't lose them similar to like a raid. You don't get your pass back off a raid, unfortunately. You have only until the end of a raid timer to actually defeat it, or you lose that pass once you put it in. So that's a good thing about Dynamaxes and G Max, is that you can actually get that back if you haven't managed to do it. So that is a really, really good thing. So let's do the rock and roll, see which one this is. And that should take us to another radar, of which we need to try and find a cliff, I believe. I think the cliff's the only one we've not found so far. Now let's switch into Dialga. Sorry, Palkia, should I say, not Dialga. Get a Fire Blast off that. Pretty much hold your thumb in the middle of the screen when you do Fire Blast and you collect all the little bubbles. Yeah, sorry, I said Dialga, but I meant Palkia. Even though Pokemon Go group chat, yeah, that's a good idea. Definitely, if you've not got Discord or anything like that, a group chat is also a really, really good idea. Our community runs on a Discord server, so it's very, very easy to try and communicate with people on that. But if you do know a few people and you want to try and create a group chat, yeah, it is a really, really good way of doing it. 6 out of 6. We have got our next radar, but can we find a cliff before 7 p.m? That is going to be the task, because at 7 p.m. we'll get another rocket balloon, and if we've got our radar in, our normal radar, we could end up with Cliff, Sierra or Arlo. But if we manage to find a cliff now off one of the Pokestops, we should get Giovanni on our next balloon. That is when we'll get our Giratina. So let's equip that. Let's scan the area to see what is about. There's actually 2 free up there, in fact. So let's head over to them and see if any of those are cliff. Need to get there pretty quick, though, to find that out. Trying to catch as many Plusle or Minun en route while we go check out what these rockets are. So still managing to do quite a few excellent throws on these, which is good. All adds up to that XP. And we are using great balls just because Plusle and Minun can be a little bit annoying to try and stay in the ball from time to time. So it just helps keep those in the ball first time. Awesome. That sounds like a plan. That does sound like a plan. Shiny Gengar or Shiny Haunter or Shiny Ghastly. Try and get one of those for me. And we'll definitely do a trade if we meet. I would so like, I know I've got the Shundo Gengar party hat through the gold bottle cap, using the gold bottle cap, but I'd so like to try and get one for a trade as well. Because although it is a Shundo through a bottle cap, it doesn't quite feel the same, if you know what I mean. Because it's like a little bit of it's like a cheat code, effectively. It's like Niantic or Scopely have given us a cheat code to make anything into a Shundo. So it doesn't quite feel as nice as what it would be if it randomly appeared as a trade or was in a wild. Completely different feeling. So yeah, don't forget, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell as well. We do go live quite consistently on the channel, so make sure to try and tune in for those in future. I've really liked the comments tonight, so make sure to keep typing them down below and getting your comments and questions and getting involved, even if it's just for a little bit of a chat. Very, very much enjoyed it, so make sure to keep getting involved down below. Like me, exactly, Kiki. Right, so we've got a rocket here, and we've got 3 rocket leaders nearby. We're going to go to the closest one first. We can hopefully get to that before 7 p.m. .659. Maybe a little bit too close, even if it is cliff. Might not quite make it until the next balloon arrives then. .2 egg, Duskull. And we'll try and replace that with a 7 km. through the gifts. Let's see what we get. Hopefully we managed to get one from there. No, we didn't. That's a Sierra. That's annoying. Let's head to the next one and see what we get. So it is going to be after 7 PM annoyingly. So we haven't got rushed to the next one. Let's see if we get a 7-kilometer egg from the next gift. There we go, 7 PM. There we go, we have indeed got a 7-kilometer egg. And as you can see, Minun and Plusle have now despawned. We've gone back to our normal event spawns at the moment. So unfortunately no shinies throughout tonight's spotlight hour, which is a little bit annoying. But we have had a couple. We haven't had any hundos, I don't think. Let's just check that. No. But we have had a bit more luck in terms of those shadows. Now, of course, for those who didn't see when I got it, we did a shadow or a Arlo earlier today. Then we had a Sierra that we had to do. We're now trying to find Cliff. But on that Sierra that we did, we actually managed to get a shiny shadow Totodile. A very, very cool shiny shadow. Super, super happy with that. So very, very lucky to get that first time as well after defeating Sierra this time round. So super, super happy to get that one. We are now just on the hunt for Cliff to try and find a Cliff. And hopefully then we will get a super rocket radar, of which we are hoping to find Giovanni very, very close and very, very nearby. So we are heading to our next 2 rocket leaders. We've got one here and one a little bit further on. So let's see if any of these are Cliff. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that one of them is. And then we get that super rocket radar. And of course, this is probably one of the best Pokemon Giovanni's had for a bit. Heatran was quite nice a few iterations ago, probably around about a year ago now. But since then we've had a bit of a rubbish time with Dialga and Palkia. None of them are meta changing, I don't think. But Giratina is perhaps a little bit better than those. We need the other forms of Dialga and Palkia, potentially the origin forms. Whether we'll get the origin forms as shadows, I'm not too sure. Would be nice if we got shadow origin Giratina. That would be super cool. And of course, it just looks better because it's a ghost type. So it definitely fits the shadow look even better. So here we have a Cliff. We have found one. Don't know if this is the right team. I'm just going to have recommended at this stage and seeing what we get. So Cyndaquil. So the good thing is, I noticed before entering this battle, is that we've not yet had our rocket balloon appear, and that sometimes happens when you stay on the game into the next hour. Sometimes it doesn't appear straight away. Sometimes it takes a few moments, or you have to restart your app to see the next rocket balloon fly in. So that's probably what we're going to do after this battle. Once we have that super rocket radar equipped, we might be able to restart our battle, get that balloon appearing, and be able to see if it's Giovanni or not. Hopefully it will be. And that saves all the hunting to try and find Giovanni. Tyranitar as the last Pokemon of Cliff's collection. Gets rid of that second shield. Second and final shield. And we can slowly start working it down with Zacian and then finished off with Behemoth Blade. Completely overpowered Zacian. Super cool animation though. But there we go, we have now defeated Cliff. We will get our Cyndaquil encounter, which I very, very doubt it's going to be shiny, but let's check to see if it is. No, it isn't. So I can take that shiny Totodile. I would much prefer that over Cyndaquil, to be fair. Definitely prefer for Alligator in this region as one of the starter evolutions. Not wanting to stay in the ball, Cyndaquil. Not on this occasion. Let's try again. And there we have it. Great throw that time, stayed in. So once we've claimed these, we will get our Super Rocket Radar. Find the Rocket Boss and defeat the Rocket Boss. So let's just restart this app and see if it appears, because we normally get a rocket balloon every hour during these takeover events. So I'm hoping that's still the case, which means a rocket balloon should fly in when we restart the game. And it should be Giovanni. Let's fingers crossed, let's see if it is. And then we should be able to get our Giratina live on the stream. It's quite a nice loading screen, that. Right, there we are loaded in. Have we got a rocket balloon flying in at all? Perhaps not. Perhaps it's only every 3 hours, this event, where we get the rocket. Sometimes it's every hour, sometimes it's every 3 hours during these rocket events. Maybe it's every 3. Let's just see if there is any stops nearby which a rocket radar can pick up. Annoyingly not. Annoyingly there isn't. So we may just have to wait for our next rocket balloon to appear and then hopefully get our Giovanni encounter, or we will get our Giovanni encounter on the next rocket balloon that does appear. So doesn't look like that's going to be during this live stream, but when it does appear, I will screen record it and upload it on my YouTube channel as a YouTube short, and you'll be able to see how good my Giratina is, my Shadow Giratina altered form, of course. You'll be able to see how good that is on the YouTube short. So I'll upload that later, and make sure to subscribe to the channel so you get notified when that gets uploaded. But that has been the Spotlight Hour stream tonight. Thanks very much for everybody who's been involved in the comments and liked the video, and also subscribed as well to the channel. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. And I will see you very, very soon. We'll be live again towards the weekend, maybe on Friday or Saturday, depending on how busy the weekend is in terms of events. But make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn that notification bell on, and you'll get notified when we do next go live. But thanks very much for everybody for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.